Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Bienvenidos. We are doing a foundation review today on the new NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I asked you all on my Instagram to vote if you wanted to see a full first impression on this or if you wanted me to feature this in my drugstore back to school makeup look. And you guys wanted, most of you wanted a full video, details, spill the tea on this foundation right here. The big thing with this foundation is the shade selection. They have 45 shades to choose from in the first launch. I don't know if they're gonna have any other launches, but 45 shades, drugstore, like that is really freaking good. So I want to share with you guys my thoughts on this foundation, whether I liked it or not, how it worked for me, if it didn't, and I'm going to share with you flash photo and a check-in at the end of the day so we can see how the foundation held up. So if you're interested in seeing all of that, then just keep on watching. I'm really looking forward to using this foundation. I'm hoping that I got it in a good shade. I got the shade of Golden. I swatched it on the inside of my hand and I am self-tan right now. That's why I'm hoping that this shade works for me, but it did kind of come off a little bit dark, just a little heads up. Based on what the packaging says, this is supposed to be a matte finish foundation and it's supposed to be full coverage. That's usually what I look for in a foundation. I like it to be matte and I like it to be full coverage. Occasionally I like a dewy finish, but typically I do like to go for that matte finish. This is what the packaging looks like right here. I like it. It does have a pump, as you guys can see, which is always nice. I feel like I waste a lot less product when a foundation comes with a pump. And how many ounces do you get here? You get 1 fluid ounce. On the NYX Cosmetics website, this foundation retails for $15 and they have 45 different shades to choose from. I believe they collaborated with Alyssa Ashley here on YouTube and they came out with an array of different foundation colors, from neutral undertones to golden to pink. And so there should be a shade in here for everyone. And looking at the swatches on the NYX Cosmetics website, there are a lot of different shades to choose from, which is really, really nice. And a lot of shades for, I'm talking about light, medium dark, and deep skin tone. So that's really, really good. It also says it's lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented AF. Every creamy shade glides on smooth, delivering matte coverage and color that stays true for up to 24 hours. The little overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long, but it doesn't stop there. This foundation is non-comedogenic and suitable for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. Those are all of the claims for this foundation right here. So that just makes me a lot more excited to try out this foundation based on what it says online. Since it says it's full coverage, I'm gonna do 1 pump. I can get it out here. There you go. So there's a pump, and we'll first do it with the sponge to see how much coverage it gives, since sponges usually do kind of sheer out foundation. This is a very golden shade. Look at that. That is super, super warm. It's a true gold, like not true gold, like a true golden undertone here. So I can maybe go down to a neutral undertone right now with my self-tan, but I am pretty warm, so it kind of balances it. The coverage is pretty good. I do have a really large breakout right here and you can kind of still see it peeking through with a sponge. So we're gonna see how this works with a brush in just a little bit. It doesn't have a weird smell to it at all. It's very easy to blend as well. I'm not like struggling with it at all. I just wish I would have chosen a better shade. That's a thing, like at Ulta, they don't really have, at least the Ulta by me, they don't have testers in certain products, so it's really hard for me to pick foundation sometimes. I want to say it's a medium coverage with a sponge. I don't want to say it's a full coverage. You can still see my breakouts right here. If it was full coverage, it would be like, you know, full impact, completely covering everything. If you don't have any blemishes, then of course this is going to be a full coverage foundation. But like I said, with the sponge, it's giving more of a medium coverage. So I'm going to do the other side with the brush and let's see how this foundation works on this side with the brush. This is giving me a really bomb matte finish. I'm obsessed with the finish of it so far. Let's just ignore the fact that this looks really, really orange and warm on me. This is a true golden shade. If you have very warm undertones, then here you go. You got the perfect shade for you. I just have to go down maybe a shade or two. I'm definitely going to use this with a brush. I want to even out this side because I don't want to walk around with, you know, half full coverage, half not full coverage. But automatically you can see how that covered with the brush. It covered all of that right there. Flawless finish, amazing coverage. Once I get my perfect shade, I can tell I'm going to be using this a lot. You can build it up. You saw I went over top of this area with a brush and it doesn't look cakey on my skin at all. It makes your skin, it's kind of weird. It looks like your skin in the sense that it's not super powdery, yet it has full coverage and it has a matte finish. I don't know how to explain that. It looks really good in person though, and it's looking really good on camera. Let's apply a little bit of concealer to kind of even things out. I'm blending out my concealer and I'm literally smiling because of how good this foundation looks. I cannot explain it. It is so skin-like, but it has full coverage. Like, how? Let's set the face. I'm using my Dermablend loose setting powder, and I'm only gonna set where I put the concealer. I'm not gonna set the rest of my face for this one. I really want to see how long it lasts without all kinds of powder. How does it feel to have really dark-haired Sabrina back again? Anywho, let's talk about this foundation. So coverage, I don't even think I need to talk about the coverage because it covered everything. If you have blemishes, again, you want to use this with a brush. The finish is really nice. The breakout that I have right here is a little dry and it did cling on to this area, but besides that, everywhere else it looks good. If you want it to look a little bit more glowy, more natural, then I would apply a highlighter. I don't have a highlighter on because I want to see, again, how this is going to look throughout the day. And what else? The finish was good. The coverage was good. The packaging, I mean, it's simple. It has a pump. The packaging is good. The price, it's $15. It is a little bit more on the higher end when it comes to drugstore foundations. But if this really is full coverage, 24-hour wear, and it has this really matte finish, then I think it's going to be worth the $15. We'll see at the end of the day. I don't really think I have anything negative to say about this foundation. I like the way that it looks, and so far it feels like it's going to last me all day long based on how it looks and how it feels on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all, doesn't feel cakey. My face doesn't feel stiff, dry, nothing like that. So let's take a flash photo so you guys can see how it looks in flash photography. This does not have SPF, so it shouldn't have any flashback, but we'll see. Another thing I want to touch on before we get into that is the shade selection. 45 shades, that's really, really good for a first launch of a drugstore foundation. So props to NYX Cosmetics and Alyssa Ashley. I was like, Alyssa Ashley for that amazing job on the shade selection in store. I was looking at the shades and I was just like, wow, they freaking did that. So as far as the shades, yes, I'm here for it. Everything else, I'm here for it as well. So let's do that flash photo so we can see how it looks in flash photography, and then we'll come back at the end of the day to see how the foundation looks. End of day check-in already. If you see this little glare of light, it's because the sun is setting. This is how my makeup looks after more than 10 hours of wearing it. I'm so impressed with how this looks. I haven't blotted my skin, no powder, nothing. The only place that this wore off was on this little pimple that I have right here. Everywhere else, it's completely there. I I think I found a new go-to foundation. I think the longer that I wore this, the better that it looked on my skin. I think this looks, doesn't this look even better than when I first put it on? Like, I love when foundations do that because I don't have to worry about it looking crazy at the end of a really long day. Yes. And right here, right under where I put my translucent powder, it is still matte. Of course, right here it's not as much because I didn't put any powder right here, but all under here it's matte. So imagine if I were to set my face, I would be good for the rest of the day. Do I think this would be a really like full-on 24-hour foundation? I honestly think that it might go for 24 hours. Do I recommend that you guys wear any foundation for longer than an average amount of time? No. But if you needed to, like if you work crazy shifts or you're just like always on the go and you need something that's going to last you up to 24 hours, I think this one will do, especially with a good translucent powder on top of it. You already know what I overall think about this foundation. It's a yes for me. I love it, and I know I'm going to be using this a lot, especially once I get my correct shade. I don't have anything negative to say about this foundation. I really don't. NYX Cosmetics, Alyssa Ashley, y'all did it. Those are your girls' thoughts on the new NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments section. If you have any questions about the product, let me know in the comments section as well. I'll put any other final details in the description box for you. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. And make sure to subscribe. I was going to say follow me on Twitter and all that, but I don't really use Twitter, to be quite honest. Make sure you turn your post notification bell on so you don't miss my videos. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Los quiero mucho. And I will see you all in my next video.